Welcome back, nerds. Today we get into the obscure rogue gallery of the King of Wakanda. Let's take a look at the lesser-known villains of Black Panther. 10. Hatch 22. This is definitely one of the strangest villains I've ever seen, and I've done a lot of these videos, so that is saying something. Hatch is from the future, the 6th era of man. Humanity has somehow evolved into these purple, big-brained people things with psychic powers. Hatch was accidentally brought back in time, crashed out about that, evaporated a person, but then got knocked out by Black Panther and sent back to his time. 9. Venomm with 2 M's, so he's not to be confused with the more popular one. Horatio was on the bad end of a chemistry accident and was left with scars covering his whole face. He didn't get any powers from this incident, but he did lose a lot of confidence and went into hiding. He filled his days with practicing snake charming and building up an immunity to all types of venom. 8. Salamander K'Ruel. He worked for Eric Killmonger and he was the designated bow and arrow guy. There's always one on every team. Salamander's body was mutated by the resurrection altar to produce thorns from blisters all over his body. The thorns are toxic as well, just for a little bit of extra flair. 7. Madame Slay. This is such an iconic villain name for an iconic woman. Madame Slay controls leopards, whether that be through training them or a special power we don't know. She literally just lounges around with leopards all day. Talk about living the dream. She also worked closely with Eric. 6. Destructon. This robot belonged to Zemo, and it actually faced off against Black Panther, Sharon Carter, and Captain America, and almost won, so it is pretty powerful. The only reason it was stopped was because Cap figured out where its controls were located and was able to damage them and incapacitate the robot. 5. Icon, a Wakandan biochemist who experimented on himself, resulting in gaining the ability to turn himself and others into wood. He believed that Black Panther did not respect him as a scientist, and as revenge, he decided to crash a Wakandan celebration and start turning people to wood. When someone is turned to wood, they're then under his control. Black Panther wouldn't let the Avengers attack the wooden people though, as they are still his subjects, but then out of literally nowhere comes Jungle Man to distract Icon, and it gives the Avengers their moment to start the fight, and Icon surrenders quickly. 4. King Cadaver. King Cadaver also kind of looks like an alien. He's not an alien, but his head is giant and fuzzy and green. He was part of a ritual led by our number 1 today actually, which caused the appearance and also granted him the ability to create large amounts of pain through mental attacks. Mirrors enhanced his abilities, according to the king himself. In the end, he was stopped by his former ally, number 9 Venomm, and then he was stepped on by a dinosaur. It was a wild ride. 3. Baron Macabre. Another victim of the resurrection altar, Macabre gained the ability to raise the dead. They became zombies. His powers were a little unstable though, and the ability to create zombies is something that you want under control, so he stole some tech from Wakanda, only to get one-hit KO'd in the end by the Black Panther. 2. Kiber the Cruel. Cruel was a scientist that claimed that he was going to invent teleportation and then promptly disappeared from the public eye. Heading to the mountains, K'Ruel was involved in an absolutely insane experiment gone wrong. He became attached to his lab floor. Like, he's literally just a glob on the floor, and he gets things done using his androids, so he figured out a system in the end, but truly it was so weird. And finally, number 1, Sombre. A Wakandan priest, Sombre is not comforting in the slightest. His touch is corrosive and painful to the point where even Black Panther could pass out from the effects. There is some suggestion of telepathic powers and maybe even like a vampire thing going on. His face is this really disturbing mask with fangs embedded, which he uses to attack his victims. In the end, T'Challa kicked him in quicksand and he was gone. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, nerds!